Hi, this is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, and I'm here with another Friday Reads. And I am also introducing my participation in the series September Challenge. This is hosted by Sarah's Nightstand and Krista at Books and Jams. I will link below to both of their series September videos. I heard about this after I made my video for the R.I.P challenge, which I do every fall during September and October. And if you had watched that video, or if you go take a look at it, you will see that many of the books in my pile of possibilities for September and October do come from series, which is a little unusual for me, except for this time of year. So I thought it would be fun to also do the series September Challenge. I printed out their book bingo card, and I'm already well on my way. So what I'm currently reading, I have been reading Crash by Lisa McMann. Now, McMann is an old favorite author of mine. She's a middle grade and young adult author. She wrote the trilogy Wake, which included Wake, Fade, and Gone, which I absolutely loved. That was YA. She also wrote Crier's Cross, a standalone novel YA, which was very good. And the Unwanted series for middle grade readers. I read the first in that. She's a great author. She loves to dig into some really bizarre paranormal kind of things, which I really enjoy and is perfect for the R.I.P challenge this fall. So in this book, we have a 16-year-old girl named Jules, and something is happening to Jules that she can't explain. Everywhere she goes, anytime she looks at a screen or even a billboard, she sees this very realistic vision of a snowplow. She lives in Chicago, plowing into a restaurant and the restaurant exploding in flames. And her vision ends with 9 body bags laid out in the snow. She is terrified by this, of course, and she's worried that it could be a premonition, though she's never had one before. She doesn't know what to make of this vision, but it has taken over her life. It's making her absolutely crazy. And as time goes on, she's seeing it everywhere. She cannot escape it. So it's a great paranormal thriller. But as always with Lisa McMann, she creates these realistic three-dimensional characters that you really come to care about. Jules is one of those, as well as her brother and sister, Trey, who's a year older than her, and Rowan, who's a year younger than her. They all work a lot in their family's Italian restaurant. It's Chicago, so they make deep dish pizza there. So Jules helps out both waitressing in the restaurant, making pizza deliveries, all kinds of things like that. And she realizes that this vision she's seeing is of their rival Italian restaurant. And the two families have had some kind of feud going on for generations. The kids don't really understand it, but their parents absolutely freak out if, on both sides, if either of them has anything to do with the other family. The problem is she's seeing this vision of the other restaurant exploding. Their son of the other restaurant is a classmate of hers and her true love for many years. They were best friends in elementary school until their parents put a stop to that. So you've got all this other stuff going on. In addition, Jules' dad has severe depression. Her grandfather committed suicide. Her father is also a hoarder, and Jules is worried that these visions mean she is losing her mind and has inherited mental illness. So you've got all this emotional complexity added to the story about mental illness and Jules' very real fears. It is fabulous. It's only like 225 pages, so I am almost done with it. This is a library book because I had book 2 already on my shelves, so I will definitely be reading book 2 during the R.I.P. challenge this fall. On audio, this was not planned. It's not what I would normally read for the R.I.P. challenge, but this is the book that my book club chose for September, Destiny of the Republic by Candace Millard. The subtitle, so it may actually fit for the R.I.P. challenge because the subtitle is A Tale of Madness, Medicine, and the Murder of a President. So there are some dark themes here. It might just work. This is all about President Garfield. Now, I don't know about you. I knew nothing about Garfield. Nothing. I mean, I knew he was a president at some point. I couldn't have even told you when. I am finding this book fascinating so far. First of all, Millard is just such an amazing writer. And she writes narrative nonfiction that reads like a novel, like a suspense novel. This same book group had previously read The River of Doubt, which is about Teddy Roosevelt's journey down the Amazon. This is just as gripping. Yes, a presidential story. She is following 2 different narrative threads here. One is Garfield, his childhood, his background. He came from a very poor family. His mother was determined that he should be educated. He spent a lot of time in academia. He was a very intelligent man. I just listened to part of the story about when he was nominated for president at the Republican National Convention in Chicago. And it was absolutely fascinating to me, so much that would never happen today. They did hundreds of votes before they finally came to a consensus. Obviously, I mean, these days, before the convention even takes place, it is a done deal, and you know who the nominee is. That wasn't the case back then, and it's so fascinating to, she's got she's got primary sources here, reporters and politicians who were there. And Garfield was there to speak in favor of a different nominee, and a single person in the first round of votings nominated him. And it just grew. And he did not want to be president. Another thing that would never happen today. But, I mean, clearly, the best person to be president is someone who has no personal interest in power or glory and just wants what's best for the country. And that's who Garfield was. So fascinating. At the same time, we're getting a separate thread about, I can only assume, the man who will eventually assassinate Garfield. Definitely madness. He's off his rocker. So we're getting both threads. So there's suspense here. It is an excellent audio so far. Oh, and just to be clear, I did get the CDs out of the library just in case I couldn't get it any other way. But I waited too long to request it for book group. But my digital request came through on Libby just as I was getting ready to start it. So I did not have to download all the CDs onto my iPod. I do have it on Libby. But really enjoying Destiny of the Republic by Candace Millard. Excellent nonfiction so far. That's what I'm reading this week. I would love to hear what you're reading. Are you doing any fall challenges or readathons? Let me know what you're reading in the comments down below.